Welcome back, players. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Liana.
And we're here from TCGplayer.com to share some more exciting preview cards from Force of Will.
Right. Starting off, we have Sources of Heavenly Wind, Melfi.
And this one feels similar to Faith's thing, but cheaper in a way.
Right, yeah. It's not quite as versatile as Faith's thing, but yeah, it seems like Force of Will is very conscious with, as they're rotating out relevant cards, they're introducing substitutes almost that fill the same role.
Yeah, and I like this one because Elf team really hasn't had a good bite to it, but this might be a card that they can get behind and kind of build a deck around almost, right? Like it's going to really be the rallying point for elves.
Definitely, and it's nice to see Melfi getting some love and coming back.
Of course. All right, how about this next one? Magic Stone Analysis. What's going on with this?
Ooh, this one is pretty brutal. The reason I'm cautious of things like this is, as opposed to other games like Magic, where your lands are part of your deck, which means you might occasionally miss a land drop. In games like Force of Will, if you get ahead by one Magic Stone, you're going to be permanently ahead, and your opponent has no chance of catching up.
Sure, so this is a really solid way to ramp and then just sit on that lead for the rest of the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And the stone doesn't even come in rested, which means essentially you're paying 1 green for it because you can use that will immediately.
Yeah, you get a nice little kind of instant rebate on that one. I like it. All right, Red Riding Hood. Super excited. Big fan. She looks great in this incantation, we'll say. What do you like about Red here?
I like the ramp. She comes in, she hits hard, she gets you value. The fact that if you use Energize, you can play her on turn 1, then you can drop another one if you're lucky enough to draw 2, which means you will go into turn 3 with 5 Magic Stones?
Yeah, that seems pretty explosive start. Yeah. I like it. All of her abilities there are really just kind of extra gravy. She's got a nice kind of word cake that you can just kind of bake at 350 and throw it at your opponent there when the conditions are right. So she seems really good all around.
Yeah, basically the only relevant ability she doesn't have is flying. But yeah, she's so good. And the fact that you could throw her in with the original Red Riding Hood, Little Red the True Fairy Tale, and get double that bonus is just degenerate.
Absolutely. All right, here's another one that I like as well. Kriya, Musician of Wind. Yep. So obviously you don't want to just run this right out there right away. You really want to set up a turn where you can get the most value out of the ability there. So how do you do that?
Well, green has definitely a lot of cheap spells, and you'll have more than enough will to use it. Yeah. So you throw a couple cheap spells, and then you use her to get another elf into play.
Sounds great. All right, how about Favorable Winds?
Ooh, this one is a format warper. This is going to change the way everyone plays against green.
So we said before, ramping ahead on stones can be really backbreaking for your opponent, and this puts you way out there, right?
It does.
But it doesn't really do anything the turn you play it, so you're kind of setting yourself back a turn almost in a way. How do you keep that kind of balance?
I mean, that's going to be delicate too, especially with most cards in Force of Will. If you can cast a lot of really great things for 4 will, it's like at that point, do you really need even more? What are you going to cast that's bigger than that?
Right. All right, so that's one to keep an eye on. Maybe it's going to do some crazy stuff. Don't know. This one's definitely going to do some crazy stuff. We've been wanting something like this for a while, and now here it is. Heavenly Gust. Kind of an answer to all of our prayers, just a year late?
Right, yeah. Back when Regalia was first introduced, there wasn't a lot of ways to interact with it. And they've slowly over time, like Hera the Jealous Queen or Maribel the Still Doll, they've given us answers. But this is what we wanted from the start, a way to just say, goodbye if you're running a 28 Regalia deck or whatever.
Sure. All right, so we haven't really seen any great Regalia yet for Curse of the Frozen Casket, but there might be something coming, right?
Right.
We don't know.
Or maybe this is a sign that Force of Will is pulling back on the relevance of Regalia. It's only time will tell.
And there's another way you could tell. You can keep watching our videos. We're going to cover more cards as they're released, so keep it right here at TCGplayer.com. Like and subscribe to our video. Let us know in the comments below what cards you're excited for, and then hop over to TCG Player to pick up a few of your favorites.
All right. Peace out, everyone.